The economy. Whether we like it or not, it has a real effect on the prices of our favourite wrist-worn toys. Whether it's the price of gold, the cost to import, or just the speculation on investment and the value on the pre-owned market. The economy is something we all need to contend with when it comes to the watch market. In this video, we will explore why your favourite watch now costs more than it should. Hello there, I'm George from Watch Yourself George, and today on the WatchGecko channel, I'd like to explore the connection between gold, tariffs and investment speculations and how they impact the luxury watch market. But before we jump in, I need to tell you about the best place for replacement watch straps, and that is the WatchGecko website. If you need a new strap or accessory, check out the link below or scan the QR code. Thanks for the support. It's no secret that over the last few years, watch prices have been anything but stable. You simply need to look inside a Rolex showroom in 2020 to see that there weren't even watches available to look at. Now, using the Rolex price index on watchcharts.uk as our metric, you can see that the market really reached its zenith in April 2022, with an index of 30,001. By contrast, the index is currently at 20,903 as of October 2025. This was obviously down to a certain global pandemic. But my point is that the economic shock that had led to watch prices, at least on the aftermarket, skyrocketing. Just because watches are a luxury good, they're certainly not immune to the same effects everything else we buy is. But if that led to aftermarket prices skyrocketing, what could lead to retail prices increasing? Well, that's a really good question, because certain current economic conditions are absolutely leading to the retail prices of many watches increasing very swiftly. What's causing this? First of all is the price of gold. Many watches are made up of a little, or in some cases, a lot of gold. For example, the full 18-karat yellow gold GMT Master 2, reference 126718 GRNR, is made up of an estimated 172 grams of pure gold. Now, what does that mean? Well, 172 grams is a little over 6 ounces, which as of today's prices is currently £3,251 per ounce at the time of writing. Now, that means for a watch like the aforementioned GMT Master 2, which retails at £37,900, the gold content alone, if you were to buy it at today's worth, is over £19,500, which is over half the value of the watch before any other costs are considered. That's not sustainable, is it? But it's also a very extreme example with a solid gold watch made up of an absurd amount of gold. I could go into why gold prices have spiked so much, as for context, the price of gold in March 2021 was a little over £1,200 per ounce, but it might involve politics, and I'd really rather not go there. But what I will say is that gold is often seen as a safe haven investment, as it's both tangible and finite during times of political or economic turmoil. Part of that turmoil may involve my next point, and that is tariffs. Tariffs. Love them or hate them, they're used, in short, by countries to make the goods and services of one's own country more competitive than those of another country. This is by jacking up your rivals' prices to make your own goods and services more attractive, so people are more likely to buy them and thus bolster your domestic industry. Sounds really great when I say it like that, doesn't it? Well, the problem lies in when the country imposing the tariffs doesn't have a strong domestic industry to bolster. So the consumers within that country are simply left paying more for goods that they don't have a realistic alternative to. Unfortunately, that's true for watches, specifically Swiss watches within the US market right now. So how do these tariffs lead to increased prices for you, particularly if you aren't a resident in the region where the tariffs are enacted? Well, unfortunately, the exact tariffs we're talking about today have, if you haven't already guessed, been enacted by the USA, which is undoubtedly the largest single market for pretty much every major watch brand, particularly within the Swiss industry. And the US has just recently imposed a 39% tariff on the whole of Switzerland, which does also include their watches. Hello, it's George from the future, and because of the time difference between writing and filming this video and the time that this video has gone out, the tariff rate has changed, as they so often are. So at the time of writing and recording this video, the tariff rate on Switzerland by the US was 39%. It has now been slashed down to 15% following a charm offensive, A, by the Swiss watch industry, B, by many Swiss politicians, and it has certainly had a big effect. Essentially, Switzerland has agreed to put in $200 billion worth of investment into the US, but it's still going to have a big effect on watch prices within the US, just not as big an effect, particularly with the added inflationary pressures that I went through about gold. The tariffs are still going to push up prices and could do for the rest of the world as well, because of the reasons I've laid out, but it's not going to be as catastrophic and as pressuring as the other things I've gone over. So in short, they've gone from 39% to 15%. Tariffs, we just can't keep up at the moment. I won't be taking a stance on the efficacy of these tariffs, or whether Jean-Frédéric Dufour was trying to get them reduced by inviting the US president to the Rolex suite at the US Open. But what it does mean is that every Swiss brand, and every brand that manufactures in Switzerland, has now been placed in a position to either increase prices, lose money on every watch sold, as the margins on luxury watch brands are about 40%, or simply withdraw from the US market altogether. Options 2 and 3 are obviously not going to happen, which leaves us with option 1, increasing prices. And this itself can be done one of two ways. Either you increase prices hugely in the US, or you have a smaller level price increase internationally. So far, using two of the largest international brands as an example, brands have actually opted for a large increase purely in the US, with Omega, for example, raising prices by between 6 and 10% on the 1st of October 2025. But that doesn't actually match the tariff rate, which actually means that Swatch is cushioning consumers from the effects by forcing ADs to accept lower margins on each and every watch sold. Another brand doing exactly this is Patek Philippe, which on Monday, the 15th of September, increased their prices by 15%, and at the same time forced their ADs to accept a lower 31% margin on each watch sold. A notable exception to price increases, particularly within the US, is Rolex. But for all the reasons I've already laid out, it really is only a matter of time, given the huge slashing of their margins from the increase in gold prices, as well as tariffs imposed within their largest market. Due to watches at retail in the world's largest market getting more expensive, it's likely to have a knock-on effect as well. And this is being seen too with pre-owned prices, often seen as the canary in the mine for the health of the watch industry at large, starting to see an increase for the first time since Q1 2022. This saw a 0.4% increase in Q2 2025 and a 1.5% increase in Q4 2025. Now, this is just my interpretation of how the economy and current events are impacting the prices of watches and may continue to impact them in the future. So what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that bell icon so you never miss another video. And most importantly, check out WatchGecko for all your needs when it comes to watch straps and accessories. Peace.